Okay guys, this is not a BMX video or a collection video tonight, but I was going to show you guys something. I was helping my daughter tonight fix a PlayStation 2 because she wanted to play Guitar Hero, so I was doing everything I can to fix the stupid game. And I was telling her, talking to her about my Atari games, and then I was actually talking to a friend of mine about my Atari games, and my dad's super handy with woodwork, and I told her, I go, yeah, I did one project with my dad I still have, and it's this little box. Now, he walked me through this. I did a lot of the work, so it's not the cleanest. You know, some of the lines don't match up very good, and, you know, whatever. But we built this box. I was probably about 12 years old, and I still have it. Now, the cool thing about this box, talking about going back to the video games again, is I actually have all my original Atari games, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Are you ready? Dun dun dun. This is so cool. So, you know, back in the day, my first actual gaming system was an Atari 2600. I don't have the Atari 2600 anymore because simply it's just it was just too old, and it had a short in it, and so anytime you moved it, it would just turn off. And a cousin of mine, he's really into collecting the old game systems. And so I just told him, hey, you know what? I have an Atari 2600, and he wanted to buy it from me, but I'm like, no. You can have it, because I wanted to give it to him because he collects them, and I know it'll be taken care of. But anyway, this is really cool. I was going to go over these games really quick. So check it out, River Raid. Now, this is kind of reminiscent to kind of like a Defender. Sorry about the shadow. Activision made separate games for the Atari 2600, and I thought this was really cool. I remember getting this game. I was probably about maybe 11 years old, I think. This one right here, Beanie Bopper. Good Lord, these things are sudden. They're good. This one is kind of like, geez, I can't even remember this game, to be honest with you guys. I'd have to plug it in. I have no idea what that game was about. I'm not even going to comment on it. Mousetrap. Okay, now this one was really cool. Oh, that's an Atari 2600 cartridge. That's like the real deal right there, man. Atari 2600. And this is a kind of like Donkey Kong, if I remember right. You know, I wonder if these things, they have to work. They were never broken. Adventure. Now, this one is really cool because, let me turn this other light on, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. This one's really cool because it is an original game. You see how there's no color on it, no picture on it. So this is how the games looked in the late 70s. I think I got my Atari in, I'm going to guess, guys, it's probably 1979, 78. And this is what the games look like. They were really simple and plain. And this is really just blocks and sticks. It's not really anything too fantastic. Okay, there's a big story behind this game. This is the Atari 2600 ET game. Now, Atari brought this game out, and it was supposed to be this massive game because ET had just come out. It was a huge success, and so they figured, hey, we got to put this game out by Christmas. So they did. They successfully got the game out for Christmas, but the problem about the game is that it was just horrible. The game completely sucks. You fall into these like pits, and you can't get out of the pits, and I don't know. It's not a good game. And the rumor has it, well, it's not even a rumor, it's truth. Atari took all the excess ET games that they had left in their inventory, basically just sent it to a landfill. And I saw this documentary where these people went into the landfill and dug out all these freaking games. It was amazing. And I can't remember where I saw it. You can probably find it on YouTube somewhere, you know, obviously. But that's like really cool. And that was such a cool story. And they actually found them. I couldn't believe it. They dug them out of the landfill. What do we got here? Sword Quest. Bermuda Triangle. Oh, this is called Bermuda Triangle. Not sure what this is, guys. Again, I don't remember. This is kind of a, this is not an Atari-made game. I don't know what company even made this. Because the cartridge is a little strange looking, a little funky looking. But let's keep going. Sword Quest Earthworld. What is this one? Oh, wow. Look at that. guys, I wish I could tell you what these games look like. I just really don't remember. And it was between, a lot of these games came between me, my cousin James, and my best friend Julius. So that we all had Atari games, and I had the best way of storing them. And somehow I just ended up with a lot of the games. Some of these are going to be duplicate. Okay, here we go. Asteroids. If you had an Atari 2600, there are certain games you had to have. One being Asteroids. You had to have, what was it, Space Invaders. These were two very... Oh, and Missile Command. I'd say those are your basic games that you probably should have had in your inventory. This one was pretty good quality. In the arcade, the game was just kind of like black and white. And then when you played it on the Atari 2600, it was in colors. You know, so that was probably one of the only instances where the game might have been a little bit better. I don't know where this came from, guys. Basic math. Don't know how or why I even have this. I'm going to blame this on my cousin. It's probably his. As you can see, I got another Asteroids game. So, oh yeah, video pinball. I remember playing this one. And there is a mode on it where you can actually tilt the table a little bit to keep the ball in play. But if you tilt it too much, it'll tilt. It'll show that it's bad, or I can't remember the verbiage, but that's really fun to play. Okay, this one is one of my favorites of all time. Activision Pitfall. This is kind of like, I think when they made this game, they were spinning off the whole excitement and interest in Indiana Jones, and I think that's where this actually came from. Pitfall, all the screens look exactly the same. You're really just running around a jungle, jumping over alligators and swinging on vines, but it's the same screen over and over and over and over, and we still played this crap for hours. I gotta tell you, uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Combat. Now this one, all this is tanks. Two tanks that look like squares and blocks, and they're shooting at each other. This came with my Atari. So this is ultimately the oldest game that I have. You know, this game I probably have had, like I said, I think it was 1978, could have been 79, but that's how long I've had this. This came with the game. When you bought an Atari 2600, it came with the game system, 2 joysticks, 2 paddles, and combat. That's it. And you couldn't really use the paddles for combat, so you had to find, I had to buy games that could use the paddles on, but that was it, and that was awesome. And again, I played this for freaking hours, by the way. Aha, here we go. Donkey Kong. Now, this was made by Nintendo. I didn't even realize that Nintendo made Atari compatible cartridges, but yeah, it's right there, Nintendo. So this was horrible compared to what the games look like in the arcade. It was not the greatest, but I love this. I love that I still have this. I will never get rid of this. I'm going to pass this down to my children and tell them they can't get rid of it. But again, when this came out, what was going on, I'll be honest with you guys, is that our gaming systems were just not that great, and the arcade games were higher quality. So we would go into the arcade, drop a bunch of quarters in these games, and then eventually they would drop them on Atari. And then you would go buy them, and they were just not, they were poor versions of the actual game. But hey, we still loved it. Okay, now there's a story behind this one. All right, Pac-Man. Now, my mom bought me this. Specifically remember when my mom bought me this because it was for Easter. And she put this in my Easter basket. I wanted this Pac-Man game more than anything. I was so excited when I got this game because Pac-Man was probably one of my favorite games to play in the arcade. And you can kind of see from the picture what it looked like. Now, see how they're round and the ghosts look round? No, they didn't look like that at all. They were very blocky looking. The Pac-Man would not turn in the up position. It would just kind of go up and down, left to right. It would not change positions. And the sound was horrible. The boards were horrible. But I played the crap out of this thing. It has hours and hours of play on it. I got to say, I was just happy to have it. And, you know, my mom always came through for me, man. She got me some of the greatest games. So I love this one. I'll never get rid of that either. Ah, this is my cousin James's game. I can tell you that right now. This is Chopper Command. This is his game. I know it is because this is kind of like Defender, but with helicopters. And then if you ran into these trucks, your helicopter would blow up. We played this game until my eyes would bleed. Anyway, Chopper Command was amazing. I really love this game. This was a fun game. All right, let's keep going. What else do we got here? Oh, I got another Asteroids game. I've got Flag Capture. This is one of the original games. Again, you can see with just no color graphics on the game. So it was really cool. Again, the title of the game kind of throws you off as you're thinking, oh, Flag Capture. Yeah, it wasn't that fun. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, look at this. Now, this is one of the originals. Breakout. Now, Breakout, I'd probably play this right now. If I had my Atari, that is. So this is one of the games that would require that you use the paddles. And the paddles were round, and you would just turn them like this, and it'd have a button on the side. So that was all it was. And so you would turn the dial from left to right, and then you would have like one square or one rectangle on the bottom that would kind of go back and forth like this. And then there would be a square ball that would drop down, and all you had to do was bank it off your paddle and hit these colored bricks on the top. It's kind of like it's kind of like your original, wow, I want to say Tetris, but I don't know if that would sound right, but this was a lot of fun. Breakout, I played this one for hours. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, Vanguard. When I got this game, actually, no, my cousin James got this game. We were playing Vanguard in the arcade. In Vanguard, you had a spaceship that you can shoot from all angles. It can shoot 360 degrees. And we would play this thing in the arcade all the time. And one day he just showed up. And my cousin Bobby goes, oh my God, James got Vanguard. And we were so excited to play this. This is a decent game for the Atari 2600. This was getting later, though, in the game. So this was probably 1983 or so. And the games were kind of reaching their peak of quality for the Atari 2600, because shortly after this, the Atari 5200 came out, and when that came out, then the game changed. The Atari 2600 was basically a relic. Let's take a look. Surround. I don't know what the hell Surround is. I do not remember playing this. I think this is kind of reminiscent to remember the Snake game that you would play on your old Nokia phones? I think this is kind of similar to that, if I remember right. Honestly, I can't remember. Okay, so football. Now, this is the original football game. So this game, you only have 3 players, and maybe that's why it has a 3 here. It's 3 against 3, and the players look really bad. They look like little aliens. This one is my version. This was my original football game, and this one was my cousin James's. They're exactly the same game, though. But they just look different. And this was a lot of fun. Even though you only had 3 players, it was pretty cool. I played it a lot. I mean, this looks like Joe Montana, but it's got a number 12 on it. It kind of looks like, actually, you know what? That actually looks like Kenny Stabler, but it's like a 49er uniform. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's put that back. Oh, Missile Command. Missile Command. We didn't look at that. Missile Command. All right, now this one you required the paddle to use, and it was really, all it was these lines that would come down, and they would look like missiles, and you would have to stop them, and I don't know. I can't explain it very well, but hours of fun for that one. First time I ever played this was at my friend Julius's house. We were probably 9 years old. I went to his house for a birthday party, and he was the first kid that I ever seen that actually had an Atari 2600. And I was like, holy crap, dude, this game is amazing. And I played the hell out of it. And I remember telling my mom, I want an Atari. I had to wait till Christmas, but I finally got one. You have to think about it, back then in the late 70s, getting an Atari 2600 is like an equivalent to getting like a PS5 right now. It was a lot of money compared to what we're spending. Well, I guess it's comparable for what you would spend then for an Atari. And yeah, so I had to wait till Christmas, but it was definitely worth the wait. Oh, here we go. Berserk. Berserk was awesome. Berserk was basically this. You had this tiny little robot, and you would run from room to room, and you can shoot in pretty much any direction. All you did was shoot the other robots. Sorry, my hand's itching. That's all that Berserk was. That's it. It was a lot of fun. We got Pitfall again. See, I got duplicates. That's probably Julius's game. skiing. This game was about as fun as it looks on the cover. That's exactly what the game looked like. You would just kind of go through the slaloms. You know, the sound was horrible. It just went shh, shh, shh. That's about the gist of it. But hey, we had a lot of fun with that. Uh-oh, this game doesn't have a label on it. What is this? Oh, it's another game of surround. So I have another duplicate. There's just 2 surrounds. Again, that's probably due to Julius and James. And then what do we got here? Alien. Don't remember this game. Don't remember it at all, but looks pretty cool. Oh, Kaboom! Oh my god, Kaboom was the stuff, guys. I played the hell out of Kaboom. You would have to use the paddles again on this one, and that's what it looked like, essentially. This little dude on the top would drop all these bombs, and you had these buckets, and you would just have to go from side to side and catch the buckets. And the further you got, the faster the bombs would go. My cousin George kicked ass at this game. The rest of us were just kind of average at it. Don't remember what Warm War 1 is. Oh, Defender. Hold on, guys. Defender was one of my favorite games in the arcade. Loved playing Defender. And I turned this game over. Now, what I mean by turning the game over, that means you get to the score, you get the score so high that it circles back to 0 again. I stayed up super late one night playing this. I remember my cousin James was sleeping over. He was falling asleep, and I was trying to wake him up. I'm like, dude, I'm about to turn it over. He wouldn't wake up. I was so disappointed. Nobody witnessed it. But I'm telling everybody on my YouTube channel, I turned this game over. I did it. And then we got Super Breakout, Missile Command. Those are duplicates. But anyway, that's it, guys. I just made this short video because I was thinking about this. I was talking to my friend about it, talking to my daughter about it, and I go, I want to make a quick video about this because who else cares about this stuff but other people that are nerds like me. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. As always, like and subscribe. I got some BMX stuff coming still. I'm coming up with some ideas, and of course, I have my collection vlogs I need to work on as well. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night. Talk to you later.